All right, here we go.
Two burly boys played Pokemon in their youth. One had to grow up, the other stayed true. Now the large grown-up child can name all of them, but the other guy probably 510. Now what can they do? Why don't they review? Now I'll talk about them till we die.
Die?
Welcome, everybody. I'm Joachim.
And I'm Frank.
And this is your
Certified Pokemoment,
where we feature and talk about one Pokemon evolution line every week.
And today's featured Pokemon is Nidoqueen.
Nidoqueen. Oh, that's a lot of
That's
Wait.
like, we could...
How are we going to do this?
This is interesting because Nidoran male and Nidoran female are technically two different Pokedex spots.
Yeah.
So, we could just do the Nidoqueen line.
I think
this does not have to be Nidoking.
We just do Nidoqueen. I don't know what we can say about Nidoqueen that we wouldn't also say about Nidoking, but...
you know, they have different stats, I think. They have similar... They have the same typings and stuff. They probably evolve at the same levels, but...
Honestly, I forget they exist.
Really?
Yeah.
As far as Gen 1 Pokemon go, I really don't think they're that bad. You know, we like to trash Gen 1 on here a lot, but...
No, I don't have anything problem with them. I just kind of forget they exist.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like they're underrated because they are the only, if not one of the only, poison ground types.
They were just giving everything ground type back then, weren't they?
And honestly, poison.
That's crazy.
So hey guys, Joachim and I were just talking, you know, man to man, a little off mic, and apparently it seems like on Cerebi that these are technically the same evolution line because they can both come from the same egg. If you breed like a Nidoqueen or a Nidoking with a Ditto, that egg will have a 50-50 chance of being a Nidoran female or a Nidoran male.
That's what it seems like so far.
Just depending on whether it's male or female, yeah. That's what it seems like, anyway. So, we are just going to talk about them together. I don't see a problem with that. It might take a little bit longer, but we'll see. We'll try to zoom by some of these facts. Let's go ahead and just start talking about the Pokemon itself. So, you have Nidoran female. Its classification is the Poison Pin Pokemon, and it is a pure poison type. And of course, its gender is going to be 100% female. Now, Nidoran male is the same. He's also the Poison Pin Pokemon, pure poison type, and 100% male this time, of course. Bouncing back to Nidorina, Nidoran female's evolution, still the Poison Pin Pokemon, still pure poison. I'm assuming it's going to be the same for Nidorino. Indeed it is. But, getting back to Nidoqueen, that's when it gains the ground type. It is now poison ground, and it is the drill Pokemon.
The drill Pokemon?
It kind of has a little horn.
Their theming was not.
It was nothing.
They didn't know what they were doing yet. They weren't in their groove.
And then, of course, Nidoking is also the drill Pokemon and is also poison ground.
Dang.
Yeah. So not a lot different between these guys. I mean, obviously, they look vastly different. I am honestly a fan of the Nidoran male line a lot more. The Nidoking, that just simplifies it.
He's got more cool spikes.
He does. He seems more like a big, cool monster. Honestly, whenever I think about Gen 1, Nidoking, like you were saying earlier, never comes to mind. But looking at him now, I'm like, this guy's a beast. This guy is like a pocket monster, dude.
Yeah. Nidorino was like one of the first Pokemon you even see when the anime starts, right?
Yes,
Nidorino
it's
versus
Nidorino
Gengar.
and Gengar, that's right.
I don't know why they didn't do Nidoking versus Gengar, but
I don't know. The anime has weird things about final evolutions. They never want to see Pokemon get to their final evolution.
Was it Red and Blue that started out with the little animation of Nidorino and Gengar fighting?
Oh, yeah.
So that came before the anime then. So
Technically, yeah.
It was the they were just paying homage to the video game.
Mm-hmm. And they do that a ton. Like that those two Pokemon battling, that happens a lot in the anime and I guess different mangas maybe? I don't know, I'm more familiar with the anime.
Yeah. Oh, I think an interesting little pattern I see is that they basically their shinies are basically the swapped.
So that's true for the most part.
Oh.
Let's talk about shinies then real quick. So Nidoran female shiny is purple, like the Nidokings are all purple, you know? Then Nidoran male is blue. They do bounce back and forth like that. Same with Nidorina and Nidorino. They're just opposites.
Yeah.
Now let's look at Nidoking. Again, opposite.
Yeah.
He's just blue like the Nidoqueen line.
Can I make a prediction?
Yep.
Nidoqueen's going to be green, isn't she?
She is.
I swear to
Nidoqueen does not follow that same trend.
My God.
She is green with like a fleshy pink
I'm
boobies.
going to be sick. Oh.
Yeah, it
Having an
sucks.
episode.
I don't know. I mean, of course they weren't hand painting shinies back then, but why is Nidoran female and Nidorina purple, but Nidoqueen is green? That makes no sense to me.
It's hubris.
Evil. Is that considered what hubris
No,
is?
it's not.
No,
I'm just saying things.
It's
that.
very disappointing. Honestly, Nidoqueen shiny is terrible. And we've been given a lot of compliments to the design of Nidoking. Nidoqueen's design isn't bad. It's just, I think, inferior to Nidoking.
I don't know. It's not monstrous enough.
I think that's pretty monstrous. I don't know.
Yeah, they gave it cups.
They did. Size? No, we're not talking about that. Maybe later. Here, another thing people talk about being disappointed about when it comes to this line is height. Jokum,
Oh my god.
Nidoking and Nidoqueen. How tall do you think each of them are?
Knowing that I know I'm going to be disappointed, I'm going to say how tall do I want them to be?
Yeah.
6'5".
Of course.
6'5" plus. They're
Yes.
big monsters.
Yep.
Pokemon Company probably made them 3'5".
So you did lowball it a bit.
Okay.
Nidoking is 4'7".
Okay, that's still.
Nidoqueen is 4'3". I did not realize Nidoking was that much shorter.
Because I feel like I think in one of the intros you would see like a Nidorino standing next to like a kid. Mm-hmm. Then again, it was a kid. But when I was a kid, I would see that and be like, oh, this monster is huge. It would be like Nidorino would at least come up to like a low chest of like an adult man.
Right.
So of course Nidoking and Nidoqueen, they would be like over 6 feet.
I never imagined Nidorino being to like my chest. I imagine it coming more to like my hips.
Okay,
Chest is kind of big.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid.
But then again, when compared to a 10-year-old, like how tall is the average 10-year-old? Are they like 4.5 feet tall? Because then Nidoking is a little taller than them, you know?
How tall are children?
I wonder if
I have no concept.
Google can tell me that. Google's given it to me in inches. At age 10, height in males is like 50.5 inches to 59 inches. I don't.
That's
over 4 feet.
That's
over 4
That's
feet.
Like,
That's over 4 feet for sure. I just don't know exactly where.
12, 24, 36, 40.
There's a tape measure behind you in my toolbox.
You said how many inches?
59.
59.
As a max. 50.5 to 59. So 59 is on the tall end.
59 is
sure.
on the tall end.
So let's say 55.
That's an inch under 5 feet.
10-year-olds should not be that tall.
I don't know.
And it's different in girls. The girl. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's just different by 0.5.
Oh,
Stupid.
okay, yeah.
Stupid. Let's move on now to talking about abilities. So for Nidoran female, it gets 2 normal abilities and 1 hidden ability. The first being the one it's probably most well known for, Poison Point. Poison Point, great ability. It always activates when your opponent has Poison Point, always activates when you don't want it to. It's terrible. You're going to be battling this in the wild. It's always going to poison your Pokemon. But to have a Pokemon with Poison Point, love it. In case you don't know what that does, I'm sorry, I should have said that earlier. The opponent has a 30% chance of being induced with poison when using an attack that requires physical contact against this Pokemon. So it can't be like a special attack. It doesn't proc for that. Other ability is Rivalry. Attack and special attack is increased by 25% if the foe is of the same gender. Attack and special attack is decreased by 25% of opposite gender. We've had this ability pop up on a Pokemon before. Swanna, maybe? Beautifly. Beautifly has it. That's the one. It was Beautifly.
Yeah,
It's kind of a sucky ability.
Yeah.
And then its hidden ability is Hustle. Damage from physical attacks is increased by 50%, but average accuracy is only 80%.
Oh.
So it has the chance to do like 0.5, how do I want to say, 50% more. You know, you get to do 50% more damage, which is a lot, but you're going to be missing more often. Like, is it really worth it?
Is there anything competitively you can do that, like you put down a, like your partner uses some kind of move, like, I don't know, defog? No. That raises your accuracy?
So, defog doesn't raise accuracy. I don't know if you're just using an example.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were trying to make sure.
I couldn't remember what defog does other than defog that one area in, like, Pearl.
Defog clears hazards on the field, like stealth rocks and stuff like that. And I want to say, you know what, I got to Google it now. Because honestly, you may have been onto something having it have something to do with accuracy. It reduces the foe's evasion stat.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so they're less likely to dodge your attacks. But anyway, moving on to Nidorina, nothing changes. Poison Point, Rivalry, Hustle, nothing changes. Then we get to Nidoqueen, and its hidden ability is different. The other two stay the same. Hidden ability changes. It's now Sheer Force. Moves with a secondary effect are increased in power by 30%, but lose their secondary effect. So, not that this Pokemon can learn Flamethrower, but if it was using Flamethrower, it would no longer have a chance to burn the opponent, but it would do more damage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that is pretty cool. Now we're going back down the line to Nidoran Male. Same thing. Poison Point, Rivalry, and Hustle. I imagine, yep, that's the same thing for Nidorino. And then Nidoking, our big burly boy. Yeah, Sheer Force. It gets Sheer Force changed. So, yep.
Okay.
Pretty similar across the board.
Yeah, I like, man, the Sheer Force. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, Sheer Force is a pretty good ability. Jokum, we have 6 different Pokedex entries to go through.
Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna do all of Nidoran female. You want to do all of Nidoran male?
Sure.
We'll blast through it.
Sure, sounds good to me. On Cerebi, I can never find Pokedex entries for Gen 1. We had to go to Bulbapedia last time, but I don't want to do that this time. So why don't we read some Gen 2? Nope. That's also not on Cerebi.
Let's find any.
I know, but I like going back to the region they were introduced. Okay. I couldn't find the Gen 1 or 2 Pokedex entries on Cerebi. Let's go ahead and read the Gen 3 Pokedex entries for the Nidoqueen line. You're on Nidoran female right now, Jokum.
All right. For Sapphire, Nidoran has barbs that secrete a powerful poison. They are thought to have developed as protection for this small-bodied Pokemon. When enraged, it releases a horrible toxin from its horn. Okay.
Yeah,
they're doing
tracks.
that. Yeah, poison. They're using the poison type. Now, Nidorina. When Nidorina are with their friends or family, they keep their barbs tucked away to prevent hurting each other. This Pokemon appears to become nervous if separated from others. And now, Nidoqueen.
It's like one of those dogs that chews on the bathroom door when its owner's not home.
And it needs like a little, what do you call it, a vest? What are those lightning vests? We put on thunder vests?
A thunder vest?
Yeah,
sure,
thunder
yeah.
vest. That's cute. Nidoqueen's body is encased in extremely hard scales. It is adept at sending foes flying with harsh tackles. This Pokemon is at its strongest when it's defending its young.
Which makes sense. You got those motherly instincts. Lifting a car and all that jazz. You think you could do that, Jokum? If your child was trapped under a car, do you think you could lift it?
Yeah, easy.
Was that your phone?
I could blitz a car.
What is wrong with you?
So many things.
All right. Nidoran Male's Ruby entry. The male Nidoran has developed muscles for moving its ears. Thanks to them, the ears can be freely moved in any direction. Even the slightest sound does not escape this Pokemon's notice.
That's cute. I like that they're integrating the ears because they're so big.
They are. They're massive on this guy. Nidorino's Ruby entry. Nidorino has a horn that is harder than a diamond. If it senses a hostile presence, all the barbs on its back bristle up at once, and it challenges the foe with all its might. Nidorino really does have a cool design. I like Nidorino. And then we get to Nidoking, whose Gen 3 sprite actually goes so freaking hard, man. That is amazing.
I miss 2D sprites.
Me too. We've talked about this before. 2D sprites, I think, is definitely superior to 3D.
I think if they put more... I think I think it's a coolness factor. I think with the 2D, they have an easier time, right? Because you only need to, unless you're doing the animated sprites,
right.
you only need to draw the one really cool sprite.
Absolutely.
Whereas with 3D, you got to have the coolness factor from every angle.
Yep.
And so I think they decided to just crank out a bunch of models that are like, yeah, no, that's a Gengar. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, there's pros and cons for sure. Nidoking's Ruby entry. Nidoking's thick tail packs enormously destructive power. With one swing, it can topple a metal transmission tower. Specific. Once this Pokemon goes on a rampage, there is no stopping it. I feel like that's an entry for a lot of different Pokemon, like Tyranitar or Primeape. So I didn't mention how they evolved earlier. Nidoran female and Nidoran male both evolve into Nidorina and Nidorino respectively at level 16, so that's pretty early. Mm-hmm. And Joachim, do you know off the top of your head how they evolve into Nidoqueen and Nidoking?
I'm guessing Moonstone.
It is indeed a Moonstone,
God.
Yeah.
I feel like they just threw Moonstone at random Pokemon.
They did. Honestly, you've got Pokemon like Delcatty that can evolve with a Moonstone for some reason. Yeah. I think the only Moonstone evolution that makes sense is Clefairy.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
This whole thing is that it might be an alien.
Yes. So I don't get why these guys evolve with a Moonstone, but whatever. It's fine. Alright, starting with Nidorino's moveset, because as we know, with a stone evolution, the Pokemon, once that Pokemon evolves, they don't really learn any new moves. They can learn, like, Heart Scale, what's it called? Like,
the Move Tutor?
Yeah. You can go to, like, the Move Reminder. That's it.
Oh, that's what it's called
in
now,
older
right?
games, yeah.
I thought it was Move... Oh, it's not Move Tutor.
The Move Reminder.
Move Tutor is just like a guy in the somewhere who teaches a move.
Just teaches certain moves,
Okay,
yeah. You can go to like the Move Reminder with a Heart Scale, and you can get these moves. Or in modern Pokemon Gen 9, just go to the menu.
Oh, that's a Gen. Oh,
Gen 9 W, man. Holy cow! But let's go ahead and talk about Nidorino's level up moveset. He gets things like Toxic Spikes, Double Kick, Toxic, Flatter, Poison Jab, Earth Power. Really not much. Earth Power? Why would he get Earth Power instead of Earthquake? He's a physical attacker. That's so weird.
Earth Power is a
special attack.
It's a special attack.
Yeah, it's kind of like Special Attack Earthquake, but it only does 90 damage, not 100. So it's very close. So it does do 10 less damage, which sucks, but it also has the ability to lower the target's special defense stat. So 10% chance to do that.
So if you do that a couple times in a row.
Mm-hmm. But you have to get very, very lucky to do it more than once in a row. By TMs, I mean, it's not great. I mean, like Shadow Claw, Beat Up if you're interested in that. Dig, Stomping Tantrum. It gets Smart Strike, which is kind of cool.
It's the metal one. Or the
That's the
one,
steel
right?
type physical attack, 70 damage, and it never misses.
This is Nido. Which one?
This is Nidorino.
Nidorino. Oh,
Nidorino,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's not too bad. It gets, TRs, because I'm talking about Gen 8 here. Iron Tail, Poison Jab, Drill Run. I do like Drill Run. So, yeah. Good stuff here. Good stuff. Evolving into Nidoking. Upon evolution, it learns Mega Horn, which is cool. It's a strong bug type attack. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much you really want to go back and like Heart Scale or whatever. And it really doesn't get that much more stuff, guys. TMs though, that's a different story. Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, all that kind of good stuff. Rock Slide, you love to see some Rock Slide. Brick Break, Avalanche, that's kind of cool. Didn't expect it to learn Avalanche. Ice type attack, physical damage, 60 overall damage. The power of this attack move is doubled if the user has been hurt by the target in the same turn. So if your opponent's faster than you, they attack you, Avalanche will actually do 120 damage. That's pretty freaking good, especially because there's no stab there. I'm imagining that Nidorina and Nidoqueen are going to be very, very similar. Yeah, extremely similar. I'm seeing like pretty much all the same moves here. I don't think I really need to detail a lot of these. If there's a different TM here or there, I'm not trying to call it out. The cool part is that when Nidorina evolves into Nidoqueen, it doesn't learn Mega Horn, it learns Superpower.
Oh.
Yeah, superpower is a really good fighting type attack.
Interesting.
120 damage. The user attacks the target with great power. However, this also lowers the user's attack and defense stat.
If you had the sheer force ability, would that...
It doesn't cancel out stat drops, no. It doesn't cancel out stat drops to yourself.
That sucks.
It does.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would be really, really good. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. That'd be super overpowered.
You could almost say it would be super powered.
Nice one.
Wait, what was the name of that move she got? She got, instead of Mega Horn, she got...
Superpower.
Yeah, superpower. Okay. I was having an episode, and I was like, that was superpower, right? I didn't just make that joke for nothing.
Let's do stats here. I'm curious if Nidoqueen and Nidoking are going to have different stats. So, looking at Nidoqueen right now, HP is 90. Attack, 92.
Okay.
All right. Defense, 87. Okay, these are all kind of high. Special attack, 70.
High.
Not super high, but they're all pretty close together, you know?
Yeah.
Special attack, 75. Doesn't matter. Special defense is 85, and speed is 76. Pretty even spread across the board. There's no, one stat that's, leaps and bounds above the others. So, I don't think that's much to write home about. I mean, this is definitely a lot better than early route bugs or, Route 1 rodents. I mean, this is a Pokemon you can take all the way with you to the Elite Four. But it's still not going to be, pseudo-legendary status or, even Lucario level. Wow, okay, Nidoking's stats are very different. HP, 81. So that's a little lower, but its attack is 102.
Oh, okay.
Defense is 77, special attack is 85, special defense 75, speed 85. So it's physically stronger and a little faster.
So, what's its overall stats?
Base stat total is 505.
505. What's Nidoqueen?
I'm imagining it's the same. 505.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna say that'd be annoying if one had a higher base stat than the other.
Yeah. Nidoqueen seems to be a little bit more bulky than Nidoking. Her defenses are a little higher and HP, but honestly, not by that much. So I just think I would rather use a Nidoking just because it looks cooler and it has a higher physical attack stat, you know?
I agree. I'd rather have it be really good at something than just kind of mid at everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree there.
Now, as far as alternate forms, it doesn't have any yet?
No, it has never gotten alternate forms.
I would kill to see some Nidoking and Nidoqueen alternate forms.
You would definitely have to give them to both, though, right?
Yeah,
It would be so unfair to only give it to one.
It'd be psychotic to only give it to one, and that would be insane if the Pokemon Company ever does that. That is a call for retribution.
Yeah, that would be evil. Terrible. That would be evil. I don't know what
would it be. I don't know.
Yeah,
they could lean into the King and Queen thing and do like a what do you call it? Like a mega. It's always megas, but I feel like megas are cool. Megas are cool.
Megas are extremely cool. What are we gonna do? Sit here and talk about Gigantamax forms?
No.
Come on.
I don't even know how you would do a regional variant of these.
It's difficult.
Because it's not one type of animal, right?
No.
You could do a regional executor because it's a short palm tree. Wouldn't it be funny if it was a really tall palm tree? That's great.
Yeah.
Meowth,
there are different kinds of cats. Lots of different kinds of cats.
Cats are all over. Those regional forms make sense. I don't know. Nidoking and Nidoqueen don't have a strong enough theme, I think, to really give a good regional form. I'd rather just the old ones get some love.
Something I've always thought about with poison types is, what if the regional form is them without the poison type and without being corrosive and toxic? What would that look like? Obviously, if they're cured of poison, what could that be? Maybe grass.
That's all I can think of.
Dragon?
Oh, they do look like
they're kind of
dragony.
In modern day Pokemon, dinosaur-like Pokemon are just dragon type now, you know?
Yeah.
So honestly, you could give these guys Dragon Ground. I know there's kind of a lot of Dragon Ground types now, and by a lot I mean 2. But I don't think there's anything beyond Garchomp and Flygon, is there?
Oh. Flygon is Dragon Ground?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I know it'd be another Dragon Ground, but I don't think people would be that upset. It's another ×4 weak to ice, but what are you going to do, you know?
It's ice.
It's ice, exactly. Beyond that, I don't really know. I just said dragon type because I thought it'd be cool. I don't know what that would look like. Like you said, maybe they lean more into the king and queen types. You know, I don't know. Maybe Nidoqueen becomes fairy ground. There's no fairy ground type yet, and Nidoking gets like dark ground.
Ooh.
Because there hasn't. Is there even a dark ground? I know Tyranitar is the only dark rock type. I don't think there's a dark ground type. I know for a fact fairy ground is one of the unused type combinations. So that might actually be kind of cool. Maybe alternate forms where Nidoran female is fairy, Nidoran male is dark.
Is
or
the crocodile dark ground?
Oh, you're so right. Oh, I'm such a
Crocodile.
fool. Crocodile is dark ground.
Egg all over your face.
So much egg. I'll accept that egg wholeheartedly. I freaking love Crocodile. How could I forget him? But Crocodile does seem like one of the only Pokemon evolution lines with dark ground. So giving another Pokemon dark ground would be good. Okay, there. I've solved it. You have Nidoran female, Nidoran male. They're born as just ground types, not poison, you know? And it's because maybe in this region or whatever, they were introduced in an area that's much more pure. Everything is cleaner there.
I mean, I think they developed the poison as a defense mechanism. I don't think it's that they're full of, like, they ate poison and now they're poisonous.
Actually,
oh no,
that's how a lot of poisonous animals in real life get their poison.
Yeah.
I just did on my YouTube channel, let's be frank, a Weird and Wild Creatures video where I talked about the hooded Pitoy bird. It eats a lot of poisonous beetles and whatnot, and that makes it, and it takes that poison into its body, and now its feathers and claws, they're coated in this poison, making it one of the only poisonous birds in the world. That's a real life animal fact for you guys.
I think that's true with poison dart frogs too. In
Exactly.
captivity, they're not poisonous because they don't have the poisonous bugs or whatever they eat.
That's exactly it, my man. I also mentioned them in that same video.
Well,
you should go watch
I'll be
that video on
darned.
my YouTube channel. But that could be the answer, right? That's the lore. They don't have access to eating these like poisonous insects or bug types or whatever in this new region. So they're just ground type, and then they become fairy ground and dark ground. Oh, I want this so bad now.
I could also see the fairy ground and the dark ground as being megas too, like Mega Nidoking and Mega Nidoqueen.
True, but
types.
why would that get rid of their poison type?
Why does any mega evolution lose one of its types or gain a type?
I mean,
Because
fair.
Just because.
I would say that's fair. I don't know though, because if they really are the only poison ground types, it would kind of suck to,
They're
have
only
that
ever accessible in a battle.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that'd be really cool for alternate forms. As far as strategies with these Pokemon go, I can't imagine they've been very useful since like Gen 1. You know, they don't really have a niche. They're not especially fast. Any Pokemon, I just mentioned Lucario earlier when talking about physical attack. Lucario is like a good physical and special attacker. And I'll bet you it's faster than Nidoking. How fast is Nidoking again? What'd I say? He was 85 speed. I'll bet you Lucario is at least in the 90s. He has to be.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just using Lucario as like a comparison of a Pokemon that's, he is 90 speed.
Yeah.
So like, I don't see why you would use Nidoking when there are just better options stat-wise. Higher attack, special attack, better typing, honestly. Not that Poison Ground is like an awful typing. It's just... let's go over weaknesses. I forget to talk about weaknesses all the time. Let's see how good this type combination is together. So Nidoking and Nidoqueen, of course, share a type, so they're going to have the same weaknesses and resistances. I'm going to go over those now. They are weak to water, ice, ground, psychic, and that's it.
Ground doesn't resist ground?
No.
Huh.
Some types resist themselves. I don't see why ground would resist ground, but...
I mean, what's the logic for any type resisting itself?
You can't fight fire with fire.
Okay.
I don't know. But this type resists fighting, poison, bug, rock, and fairy types. That's a decent amount of resistances. Resisting fairy is fantastic, honestly. Being a poison type, being able to attack fairies like that is very important. And with I guess he does get the elemental punches, these two. So I guess within its tier, which I don't know what that is, maybe NU or something, I bet if you gave it like, ooh, wait. Was Nidoking the one with sheer force?
I think they both have sheer force.
No. A Nidoqueen got, oh yeah, they got rid of Hustle. That was it. Okay. You give it fire, ice, or thunder punch. It takes away the 30% chance to freeze, burn, paralyze, whatever goes with it. It'll do a ton more damage, making up for the lack of stab. And then some, really. Maybe not and then some. But you get the point, right?
Yeah,
That's actually really good. Okay. So yeah, sheer force Nidoking with like fire punch, earthquake, what's a good physical poison move? Poison jab for the fairy types, And then maybe you could, not that you want to really use him as a utility mon. Oh, he gets things like outrage too. Oh, and then there's Mega Horn. Just give him Mega Horn. Why not? Mega Horn's a good attack.
Does Mega Horn have a secondary effect, or just
I think it's just
attack?
Big bug attack, I think. Or you can give it Smart Strike. It'll never miss. You won't have to worry about accuracy drops or anything.
Okay.
And a Steel type move is also good against fairy types. But then you get coverage against Rock and what else is Steel good against? I'm not thinking of anything right now, but yeah, Mega Horn has no secondary effect. Okay, so yeah, Nidoking's pretty cool. I'd love to use a Nidoking on a team. Nidoqueen, she's cool too, but I just like Nidoking more.
Yeah, I think just to have that extra attack that Nidoking has, I think that ekes him ahead of Nidoqueen.
Yeah, give him an adamant nature and then just run.
I wish they would increase the overall stat total of these Pokemon. And I want them to lean heavier into the bulkiness of Nidoqueen, just so that she's genuinely a really good bulky Pokemon.
For sure, absolutely.
And then increase his Nidoking's attack even more.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they do kind of have. They've done that in the past, though. They've scaled up base stat totals a little bit here and there for like specific Pokemon. None are coming to mind, but they've done it before. They just need to do it more often. Keep up with power creep, Jokum. It's that time. Let's see what kind of merch these Pokemon have.
All right. Frank, what the heck were you looking up before?
Why is that image on my phone?
Crazy. It's not on your phone. It's on your computer.
Gosh.
Frank, what is this? What's the title of this piece? Inflated crystal biker suit.
Why? When did you look that up?
I didn't look it up.
I was in the room the whole time.
It's on your computer. All right. Anyways, what was I looking up?
You're evil.
Let's start with Nidoqueen merch.
Yeah, you look up Nidoqueen. I'm looking up Nidoking on Pokemon Center.
Cool.
It has a pin, $9.99. You can get a Nidoking pin. There's a lot of pins for these Pokemon, actually. The Sitting Cutie is sold out. Look at this. Nidoking and Niudoqueen pins right there. Kind of like...
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
They're like silvery. You have the pixel art pins of the Nidoking line, and then just a big Nidoking pin. Kingpin.
Can you also look up the Nidoqueen on there?
Yeah.
Because I see, people, there's like third parties that make the Nidoqueen stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the exact same stuff for Nidoqueen. The same pixel art pins, a nice big pin for her, and her Sitting Cutie also sold out.
I feel like they got pretty equal representation.
They have to. It's pretty much the same evolution line.
I think by nature of being a Gen 1, they're always Nidoking and Nidoqueen will always be in people's heads.
Yeah, for sure.
And just, yeah, I think it's easier than like a Gen 3 that gets kind of forgotten about.
Yeah, whoa, wait, was there a Nidorina in the Detective Pikachu movie? Is that what that is?
No, this is DeviantArt.
Oh, okay.
Frank got tricked.
I did. I saw the hyper-realistic Nidoqueen,
Also,
and I was like, whoa.
Look what we got here. Let's see.
Yep.
I look up Nidoqueen merch, and you go 1, 2, 3 rows down. You got...
It's just sexy fan art of
Nidoqueen.
It's I guess we're at that part of the show.
Go a little farther down.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yep.
Oh gosh, why is it panting?
Well, because it just had a big meal.
Oh.
All right, let's see Nidoking. How long before we get sexy Nidoking?
Wait, look at that one. Look at that one. Look at that one.
Oh.
That is a very anthropomorphized Nidoqueen with.
She's just chilling.
She is just chilling.
She's just chilling.
She has a supermodel's figure. Like, they made her humanoid. I would imagine Nidoqueen has more weird, sexy fan art because she has memories.
Yeah, well, pseudo memories.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're operational.
I
forgot that they made 2 dinosaur-like monsters with horns on their noses in the same generation.
He's talking about Rhydon, who is a rhinoceros.
Okay.
He's a rhino.
He
A
stands
dinosaur
up.
rhino.
A rhinoceros.
Oh, you're going to be mad at Pikachu for being a mouse that stands up? Come on.
No,
Grow up.
no. I'm saying that Nidoking and Rhydon look pretty similar.
They are pretty different, but
I know,
okay.
they're very different.
We
they're
are
very similar
not
ideas.
finding
Wow.
sexy fan art for Nidoking.
Oh, hold on.
No!
There it is. Now that's a gut.
They made him fat. They just make the furry art is either making a character unrealistically sexy or making them horribly fat.
Which to them is sexy.
Which, yes, I guess
Look
so.
at this guy. Oh, he looks like he just had a good meal. Thank you for Affinity. You always make this the
I'm
best
not
part.
thanking anybody for this stuff.
No, for Affinity, you're single-handedly keeping artists alive.
I'm upset now. Jokum, take us to the next segment.
This is the part of the show where the boys discuss how edible the pocket monsters that we focused on won't belong. Turn up and come along to the segment of the show.
Yes, indeed, it is that time where we talk about memories and Nido, where we talk about wedding, Nidoqueen, and I guess Nidoking.
Yeah. Oh no.
And then also possibly eating them and possibly killing them.
Okay, yeah. Let's start with Nidoqueen because
Nidoqueen.
Nidoking is 100% male. So it's not.
It's unfair
the
for
worst.
Nidoking. Oh, I just want to rule out Nidoking from the beginning.
Okay. Yes. We're not marrying an all dude Pokemon.
But also it's an animal anyway, so the problems. It's not just the gender ratio.
Yeah. No. But I still feel like it's what you were talking about earlier, right? It's not just one animal. It is a big monster.
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
does
it's
make
as
it better
bad.
than a mole. I
And
think
the bird, the bugs.
Nidoqueen is better than a mole. It's just. It's you can't put your finger on what kind of animal it is, which makes it better. It's not
For
a
sure.
dog.
I mean, that's how Belle was able to fall in love with the beast.
Yeah, people who are like, honestly, it was a downgrade when he went to a human.
You people who say that are sickos.
Psychopaths. I don't know. Nidoqueen better than a mole.
Yeah,
but not quite like a 5 would.
Very protective, very protective.
Very protective.
She's not. It's not the tallest Pokemon ever, but it's not unreasonably short. You know.
How tall is it again? Like
wasn't it like 4'3"?
Four.
Taller than Lurantis. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Nidoqueen is 4'3". Yeah.
Honestly, I'd still prefer the Mantis.
Oh, I prefer Lurantis for sure.
Yeah.
I think we put Lurantis above 5, probably. Like
so, Nidoqueen is better than a mole, but I can't quite say 5, only because it's a big dinosaur.
I was thinking Nidoqueen is like a good 4.3, maybe.
I would go 4.5.
4.5?
I'm thinking 4.5.
Yeah, maybe we keep it less complicated and not get that low down.
Yeah.
But 4.5, I think that's reasonable.
I feel like we say like, oh, could we hold its hand? Yeah, you can hold its hand.
Yeah, you go for a romantic walk down the beach. It's not unreasonable that you could share a bed with it. I mean,
it is a dinosaur with like a big tail.
Yeah, but as long as it lays on its side, I mean, it's fine. You can just drape over the bed. So you'll have to like drill holes in the back of all your furniture so its tail can go through it.
Yeah.
But it's just like on that Dinosaurs TV show where they just lived in a normal house. They were fine with their big tails.
That was a TV show.
We're
talking about wedding an animal IRL. Frank.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We're talking about marrying a Pokemon in real life. My bad. I'm sorry. Stupid.
Okay, whatever. Okay, 4.5, and then I'm gonna give Nidoking a 2.
Yeah.
He's also really spiky.
He's much spikier than Nidoqueen. If he goes on a rampage, he doesn't stop. Even if he wasn't 100% male, I just don't feel like he'd be very good to
No,
marry.
no. It's way too spiky. And those
Terrible
are poison
partner.
spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, my favorite part, anthropomorphize Nidoqueen.
Yeah.
She's kind of boring. What does Nidoqueen do?
I think Nidoqueen's one of those women who is like, I was born to be a mother.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah,
very happy to be a homemaker. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I just think that's her whole deal. She wants to be a mother.
That's nice. I don't see that as being like an unsuccessful marriage.
No, that's extremely successful.
So all right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's marryable.
The anther thing is usually a lot of times it's like, oh, there's some cool thing like, oh, they'd be a weapon collector or this or that. But it's like, just trad wife.
Yeah, she just be a nuclear family wife.
Nidoking is just some guy.
He's the drunk husband that comes home and is like, dinner better be on the table or I'm gonna rampage.
Oh my gosh, he's toxic.
He
Nidoking
is
toxic.
Literally.
Hell yeah. Wow. Anyways, on to the next segment. Fed.
How do we eat this thing?
I don't know. Well, I think there's a couple soft spots on Nidoqueen that might be
Would
more
you eat a
palatable.
cow's udder?
Yes.
It's... What?
Yeah, I would eat a cow's udder.
Isn't that like all fat?
I love fat.
Okay, listen. The fat on like a steak, delicious.
Okay.
If it's all fat...
I'm sure there's some like meat in there, marbled.
I mean, I don't want to get too weird,
Also,
but like boobs are all fat.
Are they all fat? There's something else in there.
Milk.
Okay. Not
No.
all the time.
Not all the time.
Also, we don't know if they're even technically mammaries.
What else are they?
Pseudo-mammaries.
You don't think a baby Nidoran suckles off of a Nidoqueen's...
See, I don't know, because they're not like mammals, right? Or like, okay, there's things that are like obviously mammals, like a frickin' Puchaina. That's a mammal.
Yes.
But then what is Nidoran? Does Nidoran
You know what?
lactate?
I think we need to go to Bulbapedia and see what they say about where its origins lie.
What is is it a synapsid? The proto mammals, right? The in between mammals.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it's like one of those.
In between mammal.
An in between mammal. It's not quite because it's obviously pretty lizard like or pretty dinosaur like.
Very dinosaur-y for sure.
Also, Nidoran is kind of like a bunny. They're very rabbity.
They are kind of rabbity.
And they even have buck teeth.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe they're like a lizardy rabbit.
Oh, but they're poisonous.
Yes.
Okay, but my assumption is they can poison each other, right? Mm-hmm. They can poison each other, so they're not immune to their own poison. So that makes me think that they only have poison in like the spikes. Right. So as long as we eat the meaty parts.
Yes, it's like a lionfish.
Yeah.
Who I also talked about it in that exact same Weird Wild Creatures video on my channel.
Do they produce their own poison?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, they're only in the spikes. You cut those bad boys off, and they're good to eat.
Yeah, I think they're also neutralized by heat. So if you cook it, it also neutralizes the proteins.
So let's go ahead and talk about the origin. I'm specifically on Nidoran female, but I'm imagining it's got to be the same for Nidoran male. Nidoran appears to draw inspiration from various characteristics of lagomorphs and rodents, with aspects of venomous mammals. It may also reference the mythical moon rabbit. Maybe that's why it evolves with a moonstone.
Gosh.
There we go. Due to its rabbit-like appearance and the fact it evolves with a moonstone. The coloration of Nidoran and its evolutions may be a reference to the gendered associations of pink and blue in previous centuries.
Oh yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. What is a lagomorph? Oh, it's a bunny.
Oh, interesting.
Lagomorphs are members of the taxonic order Lagomorpha, of which there are two living families, Leporidae, rabbits and hares, and Ochotonidae, pikas.
Interesting. So, but they definitely look like dinosaurs when they become...
Oh, definitely.
But they live most of their life rabbit-like, I would say.
They do. I would definitely say that's accurate.
So I'm going to say... I think Nidoqueen probably has... She looks like she has fewer spikes, so I'm going to say she has less poison overall. I think she's going to be better eating.
Probably.
But in theory, I think they should I would rather eat a Nidoqueen, right? She looks like she's got that little soft belly.
She does have a softer belly, softer overall softness. I agree.
Yeah, I think Nidoqueen is honestly going to be all right eating. I think she's going to be a 6, and then Nidoking is going to be about a 5.
Okay, but what would this thing taste like?
Rabbit.
You just think it would taste like rabbit?
I think it would taste like rabbit.
Even at the Nidoqueen dinosaur phase?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Wow.
it's not like... It really does just look like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
I don't know how they justify the rabbit thing.
Have you ever eaten some... Oh, alligator. Maybe it tastes kind of like an alligator-rabbit combo.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I don't know how that would taste, but I mean, I'd be interested.
Alligator doesn't taste that crazy.
No, alligator tastes good. I like it. What is it? It tastes like chicken? Is that the joke?
Honestly, it tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Nidoqueen, very easy to eat. Nidoking, a bit harder to eat. Possible, but probably not worth the effort.
Yeah, he does have that paunch as well.
He is paunchy. And I mean, and those legs. I mean, I can't imagine there's poison in the thighs, you know?
Yeah, but he uses those a lot. They're probably going to be really tough. I think the best, I think that big gut, I think it's going to be like pork belly.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Nidoking pork belly.
Yeah, I'm thinking we can braise it. I think braised, Nidoking, Nidoqueen. You know what? I'm going to bump up them. They both have that gut.
I still think 6.5.
I think 6.5 for Nidoqueen and then 6 for Nidoking.
Okay. I like that. I totally agree.
Solid. All right. Now,
Dad.
can we kill these things?
That is so hard. I don't think it's possible.
A Nidoking is 100% going to kill me.
Yeah.
The metal bat, I don't think that's going to work. He freaking knocks over communication poles or something.
Yeah, it was like a satellite tower or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, a metal bat will not stop him. I think we could smash it down in the center of his forehead, and he would just look at us. Angrily.
Yeah, because he's got that little drill. Even his big gut. I was thinking about like, that looks like a big soft gut. I don't think we're gonna do anything to that.
No, nothing that would stop him. You know,
Yeah.
we'd have to hit him like 5-10 times in a row.
At that point, I think he'd rampage. I think it's a 0. Either way, I could take him as a Nidoran, but
yeah, Nidorino.
Nidorino's even pushing it.
Is pushing it for
Yeah.
sure. Metal bat, maybe.
I think it's a 0 for Nidorino, and again, this also pretty much accounts for Nidorina.
You
think Nidorina is going to be that much easier? I guess Nidorino's pointier.
He's pointier.
Oh, Nidorino. Oh, Nidorina's very like skittish and little.
Yeah. We could probably
take a
beat
Nidorina.
one to death.
We could probably viciously beat an animal. Yeah. I think you're right, Frank. I think you're right. I want to be.
That's what this whole segment's about.
Hey, wait. They're not animals. They're Pokemon. Okay.
Exactly.
We're all in on this. We're all okay with making them fight each other.
You're already listening to this. You're a part of it.
But yeah, Nidoking.
Nidoking.
No
go.
I think it's
Nidoqueen. Is there any possibility of us?
They do look considerably softer. And it also didn't say they rampage.
But it does say to protect their young, they will literally do anything.
But we're not going for their young.
They might think we are. If we're trying to kill them, it means we're trying to get to their young in their mind. I'm making assumptions here.
No. Again, I couldn't beat a bear. I'm not gonna beat this mama.
I can beat a bear.
You can't beat a bear.
I could beat a bear.
You can't beat a bear.
Yeah.
You could not know. But
I don't think I could beat a Nidoqueen.
I
don't think it's happening.
I think it's a Z.
I would give me
a 10% chance.
I was gonna say 5 for
5
Nidoqueen.
for Nidoqueen. I think she looks considerably softer.
Yeah.
Crap.
I feel like
it's
instead
a metal
of
bat though.
I feel like instead of a minimum of like 5 hits to do any damage, I think Nidoqueen would take like 3. If I could get 3 good hits on a Nidoqueen, I feel like it's gonna slow down a lot.
I guess it's not that it's considerably faster than you or I.
It is still considerably faster. Yeah, that's a fair point. Gosh, how scary would that be? You and I running at our full might in a Nidoqueen, a big dinosaur monster, outrunning us. Oh, that's so scary.
I think it's maybe 5% with Nidoqueen because she's faster. Yeah, and a 0% with Nidoking. His attack is just
it's too high. I don't even know if we could survive a hit from a Nidoqueen. I mean,
probably not.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sad. Well, I mean, that sounds like the end of this episode, Jokum. I'm shocked. Talking about 6 different Pokemon did not get us over an hour. It's so funny. Yet Exeggutor is one of our longest episodes, if not the longest episode yet.
I don't know. It has an interesting alternate
Form.
regional form.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, listen, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, why don't you rate it 5 stars? And I know we really appreciate it. There's like on Spotify specifically, like a question and answer at the end of this. If you want to take that, we'd really appreciate it. And if you want more Pokemon content, remember that YouTube channel I mentioned earlier? It's called Let's Be Frank. And I don't just talk about real life animals with Weird and Wild Creatures cards. No. I talk about Pokemon all the time. I love Pokemon. I also talk about Legos. I do a lot of cooking. And if you want more Jokum and you like the thought of cooking, we do a little segment on my channel called Taboo Foods, where we try and cook different types of foods that are odd in America. A lot of people don't think they would taste good, like grasshopper and cricket tacos. But 90% of the time, everything turns out really good. Right, Jokum?
Yes.
90% of the time.
I don't know if that's quite the statistic, but yeah, sure.
We've done things like fruit ramen. It's been
really
great.
Like that. Yeah, that was
good. It's a fantastic series. I think you're going to love it. So go ahead to my YouTube channel after this if you're interested. Oh my gosh, with all that being said, man, thank you guys for listening. This has been your Certified Poke Moment.